Three's a crowd, right? Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 TV love triangles.
I'd offer to give you a ride, but I don't want you getting any ideas.
For this list, we're looking at the most memorable love triangles from our favorite shows. We won't be including animated shows because that has a list of their own. Because we're going to be diving deep into these relationships, a spoiler alert is now in effect.
I should have told you.
What, you're engaged?
Number 10, Ted Mosby, Robin Scherbatsky, and Barney Stinson, How I Met Your Mother.
There's no such thing as this signal. But yeah, that was a signal. Signal.
How I Met Your Mother opens with the beginning of Ted and Robin's complicated relationship, which goes through many ups and downs.
But it turns out I was just too close to the puzzle to see the picture that was forming. Because that, kids, is the true story of how I met your Aunt Robin.
It simply doesn't seem meant to be, paving the way for Robin to start a relationship with Barney and eventually marry him in the final season.
Robin Scherbatsky, will you marry me?
Many of the love triangles on this list come to their logical conclusion, with fans solidly backing the decisions that the showrunners made in terms of who ended up with whom. This show had one of the most controversial series finales of all time, though, revealing that Barney and Robin actually got divorced and that Ted was still in love with her after all these years. The two thus get back together following the titular mother's death.
I kept this story short and to the point, and you guys still missed it. The point of the story is that
you totally have the hots for Aunt Robin.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
You're grounded.
Number 9, Sookie Stackhouse, Eric Northman, and Bill Compton, True Blood.
I can't stand this anymore. It's like being ripped in half. No matter what I do, somebody I love gets hurt.
There have been a lot of vampire shows in the wake of the Twilight phenomenon, and one of the OGs was True Blood. Sookie Stackhouse had tumultuous and steamy relationships with both Bill and Eric, giving fans plenty of great content over the seasons. While she didn't technically end up with either of them, her relationship with Eric was much shorter than most fans wanted.
He lied to you.
To protect me. And I lied to him to protect you, and you have lied to both of us so many times, we can't count. What a mess.
Sookie and Bill have gone down in TV history as one of the most memorable supernatural couples, but we'll always have a soft spot for Eric.
You know you have feelings for me.
Ew.
Number 8, Brenda Walsh, Kelly Taylor, and Dylan Mckay, Beverly Hills 90210.
Brenda, you don't sound good. You need a bubble bath. Yeah, well, that's not all I need.
Some love triangles are resolved quickly, and some can last for years. In the case of Brenda, Kelly, and Dylan, this drama was keeping viewers tuning in season after season.
You want to stay here with me tonight?
I can't do that.
Why not?
You know why not.
This popular 90s teen drama first introduced us to the exciting partnership between new girl Brenda and bad boy Dylan, later adding her friend Kelly into the mix.
Hi guys, how was the party? It was fine.
From that point on, he spends many years trying to choose between the two girls, and eventually women. And every time we thought there was finally a conclusion, he would change his mind all over again. Adding even more confusion to the mix was the fact that Brenda's brother Brandon also had a romantic entanglement with Kelly.
We used to talk about everything. Yeah, we let a guy come in between us.
Number 7, Emma Swan, Neal Cassidy, and Captain Hook, Once Upon a Time.
Maybe it's time we get a real place.
Are you saying...
Why not? We've been on the road long enough. Maybe it's time we retire the Bonnie and Clyde act.
Emma and Neal were one of the fraught couples from the early seasons, with Neal seemingly abandoning Emma and Henry, only to later reveal that it was all in the interest of helping her achieve her destiny. While she wants to focus on Henry, she can't help but be caught up between her new romance with Killian Jones, also known as Captain Hook, and her old feelings for Neal.
Please. You couldn't handle it.
Perhaps you're the one who couldn't handle it.
This is a love triangle with a clear winner, though, because Emma and Hook get their happily ever after, with the series ending with them as a happy little family with a baby of their own.
And in the end, we can get past it all. With hope.
Number 6. Buffy Summers, Angel, and Spike, Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I love you. I try not to, but I can't stop.
Me too. I can't either.
Let's say right off the bat that we're not going to choose sides on this one. Buffy and Angel are one of the most iconic vampire romance couples of the modern age, and yet fans are still split as to whether Angel or Spike was actually a better match for her.
Haven't seen you in the killing fields for an age.
I'm not much for company.
No, you never were.
While both are vampires, Spike has more of that bad boy appeal, and has an extremely antagonistic relationship with Buffy before they get together. In proper feminist fashion, Buffy doesn't end up with either of these undead hotties at the end of the series, but rather the series closes with her facing the world alone.
So, you're not staying then?
Number 5, Jane Villanueva, Rafael Solano, and Michael Cordero Jr., Jane the Virgin.
And the reason the test came back positive is I accidentally inseminated you 2 weeks ago.
Jane the Virgin kicks off with Jane being accidentally inseminated by the man that she had a teenage crush on, while she's engaged to someone else.
Michael, what are you doing?
I'm proposing.
But I mean, our timeline.
Who cares about the timeline?
Sound complicated? Well, it is. For the entire run of this show, Jane had to choose between Michael, the guy she was with at the beginning, and Rafael, the father of her child. There are countless twists and turns, including Michael's death and inevitable resurrection.
Surprise!
But wait, he has amnesia!
See, it turns out he wasn't dead. He'd been in Montana, and he had amnesia.
In the end, Jane chooses Rafael, and this little family gets a happy ending.
So, I never asked you. What happens at the end of your book?
They make it into a telenovela.
Well, who'd want to watch that?
Number 4, Rory Gilmore, Jess Mariano, and Dean Forrester, Gilmore Girls.
I'm gonna sit here as long as I like, and I'm gonna do whatever I like, and if you don't like it, then just ignore me and pay attention to your boyfriend.
Sorry, she can't. I'm not her boyfriend anymore.
The first season of Gilmore Girls introduces us to Rory and Dean as a couple, and they're about as sweet and innocent as can be.
Well, maybe you could show me where this Miss Patty's place is.
Yeah, I guess so. I really don't have anything important to... Let's go.
In the second season, however, a wrench is thrown into their relationship when Jess arrives in Stars Hollow, and Rory takes an interest in him. Dean and Rory eventually break up because of this. Although they get back together eventually, and for much of the series, it's uncertain who is really Endgame. Rory may have ended up single at the end of the show's initial run, but A Year in the Life dropped more than a few hints that it is not totally over for Rory and Jess. Number 3, Peyton Sawyer, Lucas Scott, and Brooke Davis, One Tree Hill.
So why'd you just tell me all that? I mean, we don't even know each other.
Maybe that's the point.
Fans probably knew how this one was going to turn out from the start, but that didn't make watching it all unfold any less exciting. Peyton had been Lucas's big crush for years before he actually spoke to her, and when they finally became part of each other's lives, he only liked her more.
I want to have everything with you. I want it all. I want us.
But he soon started dating Brooke, and then a twisted web of lies and infidelity followed.
The book's about how a guy loses his integrity and gives in to temptation, which is exactly what I see you doing tonight with me.
Lucas bounced back and forth between Peyton and Brooke for a long time, but it was always obvious, to viewers at least, that in the end it had to be Peyton.
I now pronounce you man and wife. Lucas Scott, you may kiss your bride.
Finally.
Number 2, Dawson Leery, Joey Potter, and Pacey Witter, Dawson's Creek.
Hi, Christopher.
And the triangle becomes a square. Well put.
The mark of a good TV love triangle is if it splits fans of the show, leaving some uncertain of who they should ship. On Dawson's Creek, they did a great job of this by setting up the expectation that Dawson and Joey were meant to be, and then dashing it by introducing her romance with his best friend Pacey instead.
I mean, the producers put the characters in some contrived situation, hoping that the audience will think something's going to change, but you know what? It never does.
There are definitely people out there who still think that Dawson and Joey's history means that they are really soulmates, but most people were happy with the flash-forward ending that saw Joey and Pacey making it work.
want to help me out here?
How?
Just give these loving arms a try.
I presume we've also excluded soap operas or daytime dramas from this list because that would be a whole other ballgame. Man, I assume real life love triangles suck, but on TV they are so good. Like, even the honorable mentions are solid. There are so many good ones. All right, let's check those out, and then we'll see what the top TV love triangle is.
I was selfish when I told him. I wanted to break you two up so he would want to be with me. And now neither of us have him.
Is everything okay?
Everything's fine. Let me meet you back upstairs.
I thought I heard a smoke alarm. Summer? Anna? Seth?
Holy awkward. This is weird. I want to explain everything to you guys.
I kissed you.
I know.
I kissed you.
Oh, no. Oh. No. Amy, not him. Please, no.
You better watch out. I think the drummer's looking at your French horn player.
Hey, he's the one who better watch out. I'm taking over his territory.
I was actually thinking that I should stay and watch Sawyer.
I'll stay with him.
You should be there.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Elena Gilbert, Damon Salvatore, and Stefan Salvatore. The Vampire Diaries.
Complicated brother? Check. Complicated ex? Check. Too complicated to even contemplate dating? Double check.
Ah, the classic tale. A young girl must choose between two handsome vampires. The Vampire Diaries may have come after Buffy and True Blood, but there may have been no paranormal love triangle that got fans so emotionally invested as this one. Elena started off with Stefan, but his brother Damon eventually stole her heart.
Stefan told me about the breakup. I'd say I'm sorry, but I'm not.
What adds another layer to this love triangle is the fact that Elena happens to look exactly like Catherine, the woman that Damon and Stefan were both in love with before Elena came along.
Happy graduation, cupcake.
Most fans were happy though when Elena and Damon ended up together at last.
I'm not sorry that I met you. I'm not sorry that knowing you has made me question everything. That in death, you're the one that made me feel most alive.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.